The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
You are now listening to the radio show ATL.
All right, we got the radio show ATL. We are back. We got Bring a Friend night. Now, we were going to have more friends, but, you know, stuff is happening. We changed up providers with our streamer, so people are having problems. Those people are Debo and his damn Android having issues, but we'll just let that be. But we hope that we can get Debo in there. But in the meantime, we do have a friend. We've got Jae Ebony. All right, so she's from the Girl Infinite Allure Podcast. She came to hang out, just did a great interview with her. When you do a great job as a guest, you come back and you come and guest host. So, Jay, thanks so much for coming back.
Thank you for having me back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let her give you a microphone and let you, speak your mind. All right. So we were, I just want to say this before we get started that our group chat that we have going on with ourselves and On The Go has been on fire. I think mostly I've been the fire. I've been in a real bad mood. I've been real ornery. Would you say, Easy?
You was real moody this morning. We knew something was wrong. So,
Yeah.
More than right now?
What that's supposed to mean? I'm generally pleasant, right? Generally pleasant.
I think he was giving more energy this morning, Diva. I ain't gonna hold you.
You mean quarterly? Like nice, like every 3 months, or
No, it was not malicious. It was just
or did you have your Geritol this morning? Were you missing it?
So I see that. So I see that you want to poke at me, but you know what, Diva? I'm not gonna let you bother me today. I'm not. I resign myself to the fact that you will not get under my skin.
That's exactly how we know something's wrong, right? Easy. He doesn't want me to bother him today. Shocking. I don't know.
Well,
something is wrong. Did you take your temperature? Are you catching a case of the Wednesdays?
I'm just fine. Okay. So let's just leave that be. What I'm not fine with, though, is good old-fashioned family racism. And that's where we're going to start with good old-fashioned family racism because it's rampant.
Family
Racism?
Oh, no, that's just a saying I'm saying. Not family racism. We're just saying that it's, racism. You don't watch Family Guy? Good old-fashioned family racism? Whatever.
I love Family Guy.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, the racism that I am bringing up here, I don't know, Diva, I know that or Easy, obviously, you're a sports head. You host a sports show. Diva watches, like, when the Falcons win, which is, like, every now and again. And, Jay, I don't know if you're a sports head or not. We never really talked about if you watch sports or not. It doesn't matter if you are or not. But, Easy, I'm trying to break down this thing that happened, man. If you want to try to explain it since you're the sports guy about what happened on Sunday Night Football, and then we can get into how that ties into the election and such.
Okay. So 16's upset. I remember now. 16's upset because which one is this? It's Nick Bosa. Okay.
Nick Bosa.
So Nick Bosa, star defensive player for the 49ers. 16. I called it straight. I don't even remember saying I thought he was going to be in the Hall of Fame. I think I said he was a Hall of Fame talent. Like if he keeps going the way he's going, he's going to be in. Anyways, needless to say, they won on Sunday Night Football. They beat the Cowboys. And during the post-game interview, his two teammates were being interviewed, and he came back and crashed the party with a Trump hat on. And for those of us that are in the sports world, everybody knows that the Bosas, they hate is deep. Like they go back to the Obamas. Like they that deep with it. They just don't fuck with the Democratic side of the world. They like all in Republicans. Anyways, he got pressed about it in his press conference interview. He was like, "Hey, why'd you pull up with a Trump hat?" Blah blah blah. And he was just like, I ain't got no comment, but the election.
Actually, Easy. If you stop right here, man, I got a clip that I'm gonna sit in here of his non-answer. Here it is, right here.
A hat on that was not the hat you're currently wearing in the post game. Why did you take that opportunity to make what appeared to be a political statement?
I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I think it's an important time.
Yeah. So, anyways, you just saw the clip. So he didn't really like take accountability one way or the other, but he was just kind of like, I got to get the word out, basically to vote for his boy. So that's what 16's triggered about. So I'll slide it back on to 16. Debo, glad you could join us. Fuck them beans.
What's happening, Debo?
What's going on, baby? First off, beans going chili. Don't start your light skin shit, nigga. Second off, fuck the Bosas.
Oh man, the FBI don't want him to talk, man.
I don't want him to talk.
Oh man.
Got me on the shit too.
Yeah. The FBI trying to hate on Debo. He was getting ready to bless, like my grandmother used to say, he's about to bless their soul. But just to jump into this real quick, the part that made me mad about him with the MAGA hat and saying that it's an important time and everything is all Cap did was kneel, and he got pushed straight out the league. So I want to see how the league is going to react to what he did. He gonna catch a fine. We know that because he was wearing a hat that wasn't, I guess, approved by the
authorized,
league. Yeah, authorized. You're only supposed to wear authorized gear. So for him doing that, and then for him to give you a wrestling term, for him to give it the old no sell when they asked him about it, he didn't even stand 10 toes deep about it. He just sort of was vague about it. Like, you already finna catch the fine, dog. You might as well just speak your mind. They know what you stand for now. They know you voting for Trump. They know you riding for it. So why hide it? You chose that, that platform to mention that. You did it. Stand on it. And it's just frustrating to me that all this tension is around this election. These political texts are driving me insane. I know everybody on this panel is probably tired of that shit. Like, every
Jae
time
Ebony,
you
where
look
you
up.
live?
Oh my God, I almost said Connecticut. I'm in Rhode Island.
Oh, well, you probably ain't getting as many texts as us. We all in Georgia, so yeah.
I block every single one of them.
It's too many of us for us to block them.
Yeah, I won't proceed my random, but go ahead.
That's crazy.
My whole thing is, why do people who support this movement have absolutely no professional decorum at all? None. They all gotta act like little feral, wild people that have no manners, don't know how to act, always gotta say so crazy stuff. Well, I guess they would act like their potential leader, so
yeah,
that's a fact. I mean, clearly, no rules following, and then gonna go back and say, "Oh, I don't wanna get into it," but you brought it up, so of course we should get into it.
they're always very loud about it.
Very and disrespectful to the other person who's getting interviewed. Like, let's just start there. I would have chopped him in the throat in the locker room for that alone.
Well, in the picture, when you see him coming to front, you can see both of the teammates are like mortified when they look up and they see it on both sides. It's a white guy and a black, and they both like, "Oh shit, what are you doing, dog? We just won the game. What are you doing?"
Oh my God.
But yeah, fuck them too though, because they enabling this behavior. Like, you could have said something then.
Yeah.
Fuck them niggas. Fuck both of them motherfuckers. Like, first off, the fact that you even wore it on the field is crazy to me, because this is the same organization that got all up in arms about Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. So fuck the 49ers as a staff regulator was a motherfucking crew too. I'm sorry, Chris. That's some trash ass shit. Okay. Then when you get into the fucking interview where you can have your political views, put out there for the public, you don't want to say nothing about it. Like, that's hoe type activity in every sense of the word. It's disgusting.
Hotivity.
It's hotivity is what it is.
That should be a new word. Y'all remember we used to have like a word of the show? Hotivity. Yeah. We will label it below. Shall be the new word of tonight. Hotivity.
Dude, not to be that guy, but are the 49ers giving him a pass because he's such an elite player?
Absolutely. And they fans are giving him a pass too, because I haven't heard nobody talk shit about it. Everybody else is up in arms about it. Not 49er fans. They like, Nick Bosa, he's crazy. Fuck that nigga, bro. Fuck that motherfucker, dog. No, stand on business. Stand on business like Colin Kaepernick stood on business.
Bro, he did a wrestling thing. He no-sold that motherfucker. They asked him, and he no-sold it. He wasn't selling nothing, and it's some nonsense. And
you could tell somebody probably got to his ass in the locker room was like, "Hey, you fucking up. Like, do you want 49ers fans not to like you, nigga? Like, because they buying your jersey. Like, do you want them to like burn that shit like they did
you gotta
LeBron?
think about the region you playing in too, because that's like
Yeah.
You got to
I feel
remember
like-
where you at, bro. Like, you chill.
like-
You got to chill the fuck out. We in California, my bro.
No, but you know what? But you know what I will say is he really actually doesn't have to chill out, because when I was in corporate, my most racist phone calls with just the most random, unprovoked stuff always came from California. The fact that people think California is liberal is smoke and mirrors, because it's really not. What they are all cowards about how they really feel, and everybody wants to have the token elected minorities in their group, but like behind closed doors, like he is who they really are.
They forget like Bakersfield, Sacramento, all them like cities that's northern of like San Francisco are very conservative. They have
Orange County
Republican
too, right?
like senators from
Anaheim area, south of LA. It's pretty, that's like Trump country right there for sure.
Man,
there's like, that's the misconception, like that California is completely liberal. No, it's got pockets of liberal, still majority conservative, but on the low. They don't talk about it.
Easy had just brought up Trump just now, and I want to bring up something about that too. Is that and I can't believe I actually did this in a sitting. There's a documentary that's out on YouTube. Now they ain't no sponsor, we don't know them or nothing like that, but I do want to put it out there. It's called Fight Like Hell, and it's showing like a different, I guess, view. It's unbiased. It's down the middle. They're not going either way. They're just showing it to you what happened on January 6th. And if you were to watch this, if you're somebody who felt like it was just, oh, there was nothing to that, what did Trump call it, like a day of love and all that stuff? No, it wasn't, especially if you watch that. Now, the guy who organized this thing, his name is, I think it's Ali Alexander. And Ali Alexander is an Asian guy. And if you look at him, there's a picture of him right here on the screen. If you look at him, he don't fit in with that group at all. He flew a bunch of people through a bunch of different states out to this January 6th thing. And one of the funniest parts about this part, not that was funny, but that he went up there to speak. He's like, oh, I'm the organizer of the Stop the Steal. I came up with Stop the Steal. And then when you see a picture of him and he walked up there to talk, you can hear the tobacco being chewed. One of the rednecks was like, he looked like Sammy Davis Jr. And he looked embarrassed. You could see the color come out his face. He's like, oh, well, the president, I know the president, he calls me Sammy Davis Jr. Like, bro, they don't accept you, you dumbass. And he's just up there, I'm like, they're not with you. You're not with them. Y'all are not the same. Like, you need to understand that. And
listen, if somebody call me Sammy Davis Jr., I'm a fucking fight, bro. I'm punching a nigga in his fucking shit.
No, bro.
Oh.
Bubba was out there with his AR-15. You wasn't finna fight him out there. This little nigga, he like this big.
I wouldn't give a fuck. I would have died maybe, but I would have been fighting, nigga. You ain't finna disrespect me to my face, my guy. Like, that's crazy.
But you could just hit it ready. He was like, oh, that's Sammy Davis Jr. And he was just like, oh, okay.
I would have threw a chair. That's exactly what I would have done.
The chair would have been thrown.
That was the chair throwing moment. As soon as that nigga said Sammy Davis Jr., I would have threw that motherfucker to the crowd, bro.
Because he's up there bragging, I organized Stop the Steal. He had his chest all puffed out. And I'm like, bro, you look like somebody that they trying to deport out this country. And you talking about, I'm with y'all. They would ship your ass right up out of here. Right out of here. You don't think he would? You know what? I'm going to show the picture on the screen. Google him. Well, here's the please stand by. Google the motherfucker. Ali Alexander, I believe his name is. Google it. Here's the please stand by. And when we come back, we're going to see their reaction to this. This is the guy who stopped the steal. See the picture of him? Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I seen it, but I ain't going to say what he looked like because we're going to get canceled. So.
Oh, no, we don't.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
oh, wow. So that reference does make sense. I mean,
yeah,
it
does.
But he thought he was with Seth and Conrad and Porter. No, he wasn't. So
he thought Ryan was his friend for real.
Yeah, he thought Ryan was the homie. He not. He would deport your ass right up out of here, boy.
The boy, Jesus. Yep.
See,
you're a good one.
There's so many things that we could say that we can't say that would be really funny right now.
It would be, but the cancellation would be real. So
we prefer.
Bottom line, because I don't want to bog the show down with this race talk shit, but it's just brewing out there. So Are any of y'all concerned about what happens at the end of this when it's all said and done? Because I'm concerned either way about what's happening out there. Like, Jay, are you concerned about for people of color? Like, either way, it just feels like some nefarious shit is going on in the background.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, I do, because I think either way, no matter who gets picked, there's going to be issues. And there's just been a lot of people talking about, how, especially for people of color, there might be stuff that we got to look out for. So we just got to keep our head on a swivel. But I don't know. It's crazy. I think either way, it doesn't even matter who wins.
For real. Diva, is that how you feeling too? Like, I mean, we know what side needs to win, but we know what side is over on the other end. It don't seem good either way, though, because somebody going to be mad. And we seen what happened when the other side get mad. What happens? They fight like hell.
I mean, I think if we can get our way about it, I mean, honestly, I am concerned because, one, as a woman, and all the foolishness they're just doing around our gender in general, and they're not listening to any kind of reason or anything. So number one, I am concerned about that as a woman. And number two, I feel like even if we get our way and they're upset, I still feel like that'll buy us some time to get some kind of balance and some footing. Because if the other side, prevails for some weird reason, I just think that it's to hell in a handbasket, and people just need to go ahead and be passport ready at this point. Because it's not even gonna be. It's just gonna be to the point of foolishness. Because you got to think, like, if people really pay attention to it, like really, really pay attention to it, I understand that we're looking at it as majority of like a potential race situation, but I'm also looking at it not only really at that. I don't even think that's it's number one for us, but if we have an overall picture, it's a classism thing right now that I think that people are overlooking because we're distracted by race. Race is just like a small part of this, because like literally we're only 14.5% of the population. So while they're doing things that heavily affect us, they're not even really worried about us. It's class. It's really eliminating any kind of upper middle class or lower middle class at all. They're really trying to take it, either you're not even rich, but you're wealthy, or you're poor. Like, those are really about to be the only two options we have. Like, what do you think, Easy?
I mean, I think if we're being honest, if one side wins, there's gonna be some people upset, and they'll bitch about it. Maybe try to do another stop the steal, march on Washington type shit. But everything gonna be okay. But if the other side wins and you are not a certain color, a certain race, I think, or a woman, it's gonna be a tough, not just after the election, but a tough 4 years, right? Like, it's just gonna be rough. And like this whole conversation around the tariffs, and just like, hey, we're gonna get rid of the income tax. That's cool and all, but like, if you're replacing it with tariffs, like, that's not gonna help. But we could get into that all day, but I think we're very clear here that if Kamala Harris wins, some people be pissed, and they'll probably do some marches and try to stop the votes and all that stuff. But it'll be okay. She'll still get inaugurated on whatever the day is, January, whatever. But if Trump wins, it's gonna be some hell for sure.
Just being honest, white people marching on some shit and tearing down some shit, right? And that was with a white man winning the presidency. If a black woman wins, that shit could be 2 times as worse, right? Like, we saw them try to kidnap the governor of, what was it, Michigan?
Michigan, yeah.
Because of that shit. That's crazy work, bro. And so if if the Democrats win, while the long term, you're all right, will be better off for the country. That immediate short term should be watched closely. It should be something to be feared because I watched for 6 hours them people try to go into the fucking Capitol. That's crazy.
Or they didn't try, they got in that motherfucker.
They got in that motherfucker, right? And they were talking about hanging people, right? It'll set us back 10 years. Period. Like,
yeah, and Debo, I think to your point, like, and I know 16's made this preference, he's said it about the show. This ain't even really like a Democrat or Republican thing. Like, if we really getting down to it, and I'm only bringing this up because, like, I grew up in Louisiana, which obviously ain't voting for no kind of Democrat, no kind of black person. Let's just keep it a bean, super bean. And like the stuff that they accused Obama of, right, which wasn't true, but like I remember when Obamacare was going through Congress, and I had teachers that's supposed to be teaching us about shit was talking about, oh, he wants to propose these death councils, and if you're too old, you're gonna go in front of this council, and they're just gonna decide if they're gonna give you health care or not. Like, these are teachers that were saying this, right? There were teachers that were talking about, oh, he might not be a citizen, or oh, he wasn't born here, this and that, right? And every time I see this stuff happen with Donald Trump, me as a black man, I can't help but just think about, what if Obama got convicted of 34 felonies or whatever the count is? What if he got caught saying the stuff that he's saying? What if he got caught cheating on Michelle Obama with a porn star? And those same people that I grew up with, went to school with, Facebook friends with, that were like sharing these racist memes about him, saying all this crazy shit about him, calling that man out his name, calling him a Muslim, which is not a bad thing, by the way, if you're a Muslim. Like, there's a difference between being a Muslim and being like a terrorist. This is different. Saying all this stuff about him and how he's a threat. But then you sharing photos of, and for those of you that's not Catholic, but you sharing photos of Saint Michael the Archangel talking about, let's pray for Trump because he's in court. Let's do this. God is really trying to test us because they trying to put him in prison. Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, 8 years ago, y'all was talking crazy about my guy, talking down crazy about him. And now y'all like, no, they just trying to stop him because he's trying to do the right thing. This ain't Martin Luther King. Like, what we doing here?
What's crazy is these same people that are like pro-Trump were like Bush people. Like, these were people that were pro-Bush and pro the war on Iraq and the war on terror. Like, they were like all happy about that. And in a period of like 20 years, not even 20 years, like maybe 12, these people have gone from like Bush, like, Republicans. I can deal with a Republican. I can't handle a MAGA Republican because it's a different thing. They're not based in reality. They're not based in facts. They're just based in spewing lies and division to get them.
Not fooling with Debo tonight. They say he's spitting too many facts today.
It is what it is. They know when I'm spitting facts. They don't want to hear the truth.
Cut his mic.
That's exactly. They don't want to hear me talk. But Trump Republicans are a problem, and they are scary, and they hold a lot of power. And if they don't win this election and they lose the House and the fucking Senate, it's gonna be some shit. It's gonna be some shit at all times.
I'm curious on that though, actually, because one, a lot of these people, like the people who are really trying to represent, are still willing to run around with their face covered. Second of all, a lot of people in the Republican Party are not even really aligning with it. You've got these people who are now going around. I don't know if you've seen it on like the social platforms where a lot of Republicans are saying, let's do what's best for the country, which means they're like disassociating themselves from Trump. And they're saying that they're going to do a responsible vote, which means they are saying but not saying that they're going to vote for Kamala Harris because they know that this is a shit show and they don't want anything to do with it. Because what they're trying to do is they pretty much got an idea that this is they're probably not going to win. So they're really trying to go ahead and align themselves or what they feel get ahead of things. So when the stuff hits the fan after this election, they can not feel like they can low-key save their careers, because right now the Republican Party's in damage control already because they technically don't want to be seen as that type of Republican, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, like,
that shit crazy.
I know Kamala Harris is throwing out Liz Cheney every chance she gets, right? If you have time, and I can share with you guys the link, but there's a link of like people that I was just referencing that was like talking bad about Obama and saying how he was the worst president of their lifetime, saying how he looks weak and da 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 da. And now those people are supporting Kamala Harris. To Diva's point, right? They say they're trying to be on the right side of history, whatever you want to call it. It's not like, he's just doing what a typical Republican candidate would do. Like, this is completely out of left field. And like, I'm telling you, Liz Cheney said that Barack Obama was the worst president of her lifetime.
Yeah.
Now she's standing.
So did Mitt Romney.
Lady.
Oh yeah, Mitt Romney was out there marching during the pandemic with BLM.
Listen. These people understand the difference between a Democrat, because they still will work with Democrats to get shit done, right? Like that border bill that they killed, that shit would have never happened during the Bush administration. It just would. That shit is crazy. They really was like, fuck that. We're not working with you at all. Even if you giving us what we want, fuck you.
That shit. So, like I said, I didn't want to. I mean, of course, we're gonna get into political talk because that's the climate right now. So, in saying that, just would leave it at get your ass out there and vote. Don't sit this one out.
Hey, real shit though, like, because like I
nigga,
said,
that's you. You go vote, motherfucker. That's the problem. You, nigga.
I did. You still bring up 2016, man? I wasn't the only one that did.
Nigga, you the nigga that this the reason that this shit is the way it is now.
It's all my fault. I said I one time in 2016 and all them years. One time.
That was the time that mattered.
And that, thank you, ma'am, thank you. This motherfucker don't get it. He did it. He the fucking reason.
Hey, in Georgia, he ain't got no excuse. I mean, the early voting's like 2 weeks in advance now. Shoot, I went vote 2 weeks ago. That's how early it is.
No excuse. It's got no excuse absentee voting here in Georgia. So it really is no excuse for that. And I just want to say this to end this out, and then we can get into something lighter. That, man, these churches out here on either side, man, stop telling your congregation who to vote for and let them people make them decision on their own, man. That's bullshit. Stop.
It's bullshit.
Church and state, man. It's bullshit.
And just to add on to that, right? Like, if you go vote for Kamala Harris, and then next election you vote for somebody else, that's okay. Like, if you're not the biggest fan, it's okay. But like, there's sometimes you just got to put your shit to the side and just be like, you know what? I'm gonna just have to take an L for 3.5.
It's okay to vote mixed ballot, bro. It's okay to vote for a Democrat here and a Republican there.
And I just want to say this, man. I just got to get this out of here again. That out of all these people that we talk, I got to mention Ted Cruz is the weakest dude on the planet. You don't support a dude who talks shit about your wife. If a nigga talk about your wife, that shit is on and it'll never be over. I don't care about
that's
what
a pussy
party
nigga,
it is.
bro. That's pussy activity, bro. Hotivity. Another hotivity.
Real shit. I mean,
site.
Brian Kemp up there too.
It's on site every time.
The governor of Georgia, he up there too. Because Donald Trump was talking about that man out his name,
man,
for a year, 2 years. He was talking shit about this man.
Just a month ago, Trump was at a rally in Georgia and was talking down bad about that man in his own state, and he talking about I still support him.
Yeah, because
You out your damn mind.
Because this how I go, like, oh, you pissed me off, But wait a minute, you like niggas? Nah, I don't like niggas neither. Well, we all right then. We good.
Yeah, you gonna come to my state and talk crazy about me? Yeah, we out.
Right. And I think people have to understand that, like, we're not just telling you to go vote just simply because for the president. There's so many other things on the ballot that will affect you in your city and your state. And this is how things slide through because people are like, oh, I don't care about that part. But like, there are people who are up for sheriff. There are people who are up for a lot of different positions that actually make decisions in your neighborhood. And trust me, because you don't vote, you don't even know a lot of these people run unopposed. Or they are incumbents and they've been in office and you've been mad about how things have been going. But guess what? If no one votes or you just vote because you know their name, you guys got to look at the ballot before you go. And also take the opportunity. There are websites for you guys. Maybe we can put some in a group here for Georgia where you can go and actually read about what some of the stuff means. Because when you get to the ballot room, you don't understand. Well, some people can, some people don't know where to find it. Honestly, and they get overwhelmed. Some of the questions that I've been told on the ballot are very confusing. So you
fuck them, Diva. Fuck them because they also they changed up the rules. Like, okay, I keep saying we're gonna get off this political shit, but they changed up. All right, so for the absentee ballots, they changed it up where people don't realize that they vote against their own interest. Like they oh, we want to hurt the poor and the black and the disenfranchised. It's a lot of trailer park trash out there that's in the same thing. Who they out here, you got to upload your driver's license and you got to physically, print it and sign it. Okay, Rory out there in rural Georgia don't know shit about that shit, but he like, oh wait, but Trump, he against the same people I'm against. I'm gonna vote for him, and he fucking himself up. They don't care about that shit, man. They don't use their mind.
Niggas like you have voted 8 years ago, you could have got some of these state motherfuckers out of there that didn't change the rules. Oh, okay. See what I'm saying? See how I go? It's your fault, nigga. It's your fault.
They could have been. Look, it could have been a tie that you could have broke, Baby Iced Tea. But you see what? You were too busy trying to be a thug with your ponytail. I'm just saying.
So you're gonna let me slide.
What are you talking about?
So you're gonna let me slide.
Daddy.
You're gonna get that on me, but we're not gonna talk about Debo looking like a 14-year-old little boy with all
First
his hair
off, I still got a little something. I'm trying something different. You can kiss my ass, Wayne Chief. I don't give a fuck with that motherfucking shit you got on top of your head, nigga.
Motherfucker. If you can't grow it, you can't talk on it. But we've talked on enough this political shit. We have enough talked about it. All right, we're going to get into something else right after this.
You are now listening to the radio show ATL.
I just want to let y'all know, I flew in first class for the first time the other day, and I just want to let y'all all know I can never go back. All of y'all is some broke bitches in my book, you know what I'm saying? I was drinking my free alcohol with my pinky up. Y'all can't fuck with me no more. I'm different now. I just want to let y'all know.
You're listening to the radio show ATL on YouTube and all other podcast providers.
All right, so I heard a rumor somewhere that this is a hip-hop show, sort of, even though we don't always get to hip-hop. It is a hip-hop show. And I wanted to bring a question to our lovely panel that we have here about, we've been talking for a long time about this beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And I wanted to ask a question, and I just whoever wants to jump in, is that did Kendrick Lamar, did he kind of speed up the decline of Drake? Did it kind of seem like Drake was on a downward spiral to start with? And did Drake kind of push him towards that? Like, have we seen the best of Drake? Like, is his prime over? And did Kendrick just put the death nail in him? Because Drake is the stream king, So did this whole thing with Kendrick Lamar truly slow down the dominance of Drake? I mean, the stream's still looking good, but are we looking at Drake on the back end of his career right now?
I'm gonna step in real quick because I might throw up on the side of this. 16, you might be cooking with this. I ain't gonna hold you, bro, because I think you got a point here. Like the album's been kind of mid as fuck lately. I ain't gonna hold you. Last 2, 3 ain't been nice.
True.
Ain't been good. I think you cooking here. I'm gonna hear what the rest of the panel got to say. I just wanted to get that out the way because I literally might have to put the camera off and throw up on the side.
Why does everybody hate agreeing with me? Everybody who come over here is like, oh, no, I can't.
Hey, look. I know, and Debo knows this too. Shout out to my boy right there, bottom right corner. We are always on the right side of history, okay?
Always.
So when we side with you, it kind of messes up the algorithm. It kind of messes up the percentages.
It's not feng shui, nigga.
Yeah.
Nah.
But you on the right side of this one. I ain't gonna hold you.
But I have another perspective. I think Drake was already on the decline when this nigga started putting hair bows in his hair and painting his damn fingernails and doing little kid bop shit. Like, it was already it was already going down from there. And then you add
that's what 16 saying. This kind of like sped it up.
I mean, I think this could have put him out the pasture, as we say in the South. Like, we just put him out there and let him go ahead and, on his own, let nature take its course. I guess, I'll agree. I think it brought. Listen, he out there with the other old horses, and what happens after that. But
Shawty called us an old horse, nigga. She calling us old horses.
I know, Jay. How do you feel about it? Do you feel like this was helping to just usher Drake right off that ledge of being in his prime and just,
Yeah, he hasn't had anything good really since I'm Upset. What album was that? Was that Scorpion? What was
Jay. I'm you cooking too because I was about to say I think the last like really good complete album was Scorpion, but I know that's a little spicy.
Was it.
That was 2018.
And ever since this stuff with Kendrick, I ain't heard or seen nothing. He been real quiet, Drake. So
he don't want that smoke because he don't want people. No, look, he think he next after Diddy. That's why he don't want. He wants.
I said in our group chat. The nigga had a tickle dungeon in fucking Toronto, and niggas didn't like
Shut up, Devo. A tickle dungeon. I don't want it.
Just saying.
Absolute crazy word.
But y'all probably are right. And I don't want to put him out the pasture because we've seen
Yeller.
We've seen old folks, like older heads come out and like drop a hot album like 10, 20 years later. So I'm not going to sit here and close the book on Drake because he dropped one hot album and then everybody going to forgive everything, all that other shit, all that you a 69 God type shit, whatever the fuck that means. They going to forgive it.
I was trying to find out.
But Debo, like, can we say that he really has had a new sound though? Like all his stuff it's been starting to sound the same.
I think his problem. I think Drake's problem is he is a creature of trying to stay relevant. He hasn't had his own unique flavor for quite a while. So if he were to go back to like some of his older roots and bring just straight lyrics, because the dude can rap. I think it would be successful.
Debo, but let me ask you this, because if we're gonna be like referencing Kendrick and whatnot, word on the street is
Drake
really
apologist either. Don't get it twisted. I'm not holding the banner for this motherfucker. That light skin ass pickle nigga. I'm not with it.
No, but you have good points. So I'll counter you with this thought. Could it be the reason because on the back end, a couple of things that Kendrick revealed was that one, Drake is a bully. Okay, a lot of people in the industry will talk about how he basically, even Kanye talk about how he hold a grudge and he's a bully and how a lot of he'll literally ruin people's careers, right? Could it be that he hasn't really had a new sound because the person who gave him the sound he fell out with? You think?
No, it's because whoever is, he looks at he's an analytical person. Like I know y'all don't want to admit it. Soulja Boy was onto some shit years ago. And nobody listened to him because it's Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
True.
So all this shit that Kendrick is saying, Soulja Boy said that shit a long time ago. And real niggas knew that nigga was rapping like Soulja Boy fucking 20 years ago. The problem with it is everybody just accepted it. And they always do because Draco dropped 2 or 3 hot songs in the summer. And then everybody's bopping to that shit. They just go let him steal somebody else's flow.
Drake did try something different because he tried House with Honestly Nevermind and that flopped. It wasn't any good. He tried. He did the same thing. You know, Beyonce did House with Renaissance. He tried to do it and it just didn't work. It didn't work for him. It didn't fit.
Beyonce trash ass. We talking about why we bringing her?
If you really are into house music, like that has a cult following. Like I used to go to like those type of parties. Like those people don't fuck around. Like they really gatekeep their music, to be honest. And only mainstream people would really even really entertain
DJ, it. And they don't mess around. And that's an entire movement. And if you don't come,
it really is.
They're not gonna support it.
No, they won't support you because I've been to the dopest parties in Atlanta, and I promise you, they're all like quiet. Like there's no advertisement for them. You either know about it or you don't, and it's all like in these really crazy places that look like nothing. And then you go through the doors, and it's fucking amazing. Like it's so freaking cool, but like it's not publicly known, but when I tell you it's packed.
West Georgia is known for that. Like University of West Georgia went to several fucking parties in Barnes, motherfucker. Barnes, and that shit was off the fucking chains. Now there was a lot of drugs involved, but we're not gonna talk about
those like raves?
Basically, yes.
Okay,
they're
so
like
there's a group of people that used to go to those in high school.
I mean, I guess you would it's rave like, but it's more urban rave like.
Yeah,
you definitely are going to be on something. Pick your poison, but it's very like just psychedelic like in a fashion. Like you don't have to be on it, but that's the vibe. And everybody's so cool. Everybody's warm. Everybody's welcoming. Everybody's cool. It's just you literally dance all night. There's no breaks. Everybody just dances the whole time. But they are so for real. Like the DJs just move around and they will command so much respect. Like everybody respects the DJs in house music. Put it that way.
They ain't respect that, honestly, never mind, because it didn't fit with that. And it just, I don't know, that had just been on my mind. But because it just all happened so fast. And I don't necessarily know, like, the beef between them two, I mean, I guess it is what it is. You know, it definitely elevated Kendrick Lamar's profile to
I mean, let's keep it a buck. Like Kendrick was on the downslide too.
Yeah. If anything, it definitely was a jumper cable for him.
You know, sometimes he'll kind of, keep pushing out some bullshit, and then it just keeps going down and down.
Chances are he won't, Devo.
We'll see.
We made this comparison on the show before. We called him this generation's Nas, and they ain't a knock on Nas, but he's saying Easy was like, hey, he got this one monumental first or second album or whatever it was, and then the rest of the stuff has just been kind of,
one hot album every 10-year average. Nigga, Jay-Z told y'all what that shit was. That's Nas. That is Nas. And like,
I think Kendrick's better than Nas, but y'all know my feelings about Nas. But
really,
dang, you live in Rhode Island. Yeah, I ain't trying to trigger you. We just met. Like, we could keep that offline.
That was painful.
Did you see Jay's face?
I mean, easy. I can see where you're going with that, so I'll be on that train.
I'll co-sign with you too, Easy. I'm from Atlanta. That's just what it is. Fuck Nas.
I'm from Atlanta too. It's
the southern bias in me. That's what it is.
I was just gonna say that Kendrick is performing at the Super Bowl, so there is gonna be some type of wave, some kind of ride that comes out of that, right? We don't know if that's gonna be a tour or if he dropping an album. So
he got to drop an album. He needs some new music. He needs new music because you can't keep playing "They Not Like Us" 10 times in a row on stage. That's gonna go everything.
I know but everyone across the entire world was playing that 10 times over.
Hold on, and don't get it twisted. They still playing it. Like I was just in LA for the Saints and Chargers game. They still playing that shit, bro.
They're still playing it, but you're not going to. I'm telling you this right now. If you pay $278 for a upper deck ticket to a Kendrick fucking concert, and that nigga played "They Not Like Us" 10 times in a row, you're gonna be fucking pissed, bro.
No, them people who paid for that concert, they actually requested their song 1,000 times, and
they are
he
fucking
had to play it 1,000 times because that's what they wanted.
That is the happiest diss song I ever heard in my life, man. It's so upbeat, and it's like, what? I'm probably in the minority on that part, but it's the happiest sounding diss song
When the
I've
babies
ever
are
heard.
singing it, you know you.
Like Debo, I understand. Like I completely understand where Debo is coming from, but if I hadn't seen it myself, how he had these people at these concerts, and even internationally, these people were playing the song back to back. So even if he did tour, he's so good where he could literally play all of his catalog all the way up into this album, and he would be perfectly fine. Like people wouldn't hold him, you know what I'm saying? Like they would love it.
I
They
don't
really
think
would
that.
because he's that good.
I think people. I'm not saying that some people wouldn't be happy. I'm sure they would. But when you have somebody like we're talking like Kendrick is on the level of like a Beyonce. And like we get on Beyonce for playing the same set list from 3 tours in a row, right? Even though people love these hits, we still get on Beyonce for not playing new music. And so if we could do it to Beyonce, then you have to do it to Kendrick because I'm sorry, I don't think that Beyonce and Kendrick are on the same level as far as like success wise.
No,
I just don't
they're
think
not.
I don't think they are, but you got to think about the fact that a lot of people are going to consider this a recent enough album and be happy with it. I think the challenge would be if he doesn't produce something in the next 3 years, they may feel some type of way. But I do think that all of these tracks that he put out are equivalent to a new album. And so that would be enough to propel him for a tour or concert.
So
I think it would be.
How long is an average tour? 20, 40 cities, 50 cities?
It just depends on your market.
Okay,
Either
let's
you're
just
going to
say
stay
30
here or you're
city
going to go
tour.
international.
Let's say 30
Possibly.
city tour. Let's say 40 city tour. You're telling me that people are not going to get tired of Kendrick in 40 cities playing They Not Like Us 5 times in one show.
No, now for me personally, I have to take how I honestly feel out of it, right? I would agree with you that I don't want to hear it 5 times. But what I'm saying is that I was appalled at no matter how many concerts I saw a couple of months ago where this man was all over the place, they requested not him performing, the fans demanded that he keep this song on repeat. And this song got played a bunch of times. The DJs in clubs couldn't play this song once. Everybody wanted to hear it on a loop. So in business, it doesn't matter how I feel. It matters how the client feels. And if the client wants it, then they want it. It doesn't have to make sense to me.
You're
and
right.
I don't think you're a music person, but it doesn't have to make sense to you. But that's what people want, and that's what they like.
No, I agree with you. But the circumstance with that is the song had just recently hit, right? We're talking about if he goes on tour, it'll be next summer. So we're talking about like a year after the song came out. Are we still playing They Not Like Us 5 times in a row in a year?
Yes, you know why? Because people are. No, it's not because it's bigger than Drake. The song is bigger than Drake because of the way people are a life application. So every time people feel like they're a unique group against another group, they connect to They Not Like Us. Everybody's using it and applying it for self-application. So the song has become bigger than Drake. So now people are not associating the song with Drake. They're associating it with themselves personally as to whatever they're going through in life as a common denominator for camaraderie. That's why the song is now bigger than Drake, and that's why people are connecting to it.
So we're saying the song has elevated past the beef, and it's more of a pop culture phenomenon, similar like We Are the Champions from Queen.
It's a phenomenon. It's an anthem, and here's the thing.
It is the anthem.
Here's where again, God, I'm literally about to throw up. I'm agreeing with 16 again, but like when you hit that geography lottery, and you have a city the size of LA, behind you, 10 toes down, and you got like what 14 million people live in LA, something crazy like that, metro, and you got them behind you with this one song, like this gonna sustain for forever. And me and 16 talked about this, offline, and he can get upset about this. Now I'm back on track, Debo. I'm back on track. This is one of the greatest diss songs ever. You
Yeah.
can feel how you want to feel about it. But it's one thing. It's one thing to have a. It's one thing to have a diss, but it's another thing for you to have a song that multiple generations know the lyrics, can sing it word for word.
That's
when
true.
They hear the beat, they know what the song is. Fuck it being a diss. This is one of the greatest diss songs ever, but it's just a song that's gonna last forever because you got multiple generations that vibe with it and know what it's about.
No, I got
There's
you.
never been a
there's
diss
some
song
old
that
head-
turns
there's some
into
old
like
head out there.
unification.
That's what, some of our parents probably had no idea who Drake was, but they know who Drake is now because of this song.
Listen,
Think about
when
that.
I seen Kids Bop doing They Not Like Us, I know it's a hit. Like Kids Bop, they not like us. They was getting that shit. The little babies is singing this shit.
Yeah, once Kids Bop, when I saw when they did Hey Y'all on Kids Bop, I'm like, man, Outkast ain't never gonna get no bigger, bro. That's it. You made it.
You made it.
You have made it.
Well, the thing about it is, it's all subjective. One thing you can't deny is that whether you like it or you don't, yes, the song is a hit. It's a lasting hit. You know, as my brother alluded to, that's gonna be here. It's like Will Smith in Summertime. Will Smith will be dead 100 years, and they still gonna play.
Oh my
Summertime.
God, that song is still fun. Who's
That's
not
what I'm
gonna
saying.
sing it?
Summertime
Even if you don't
anthem.
like him.
So this
You're
is the
gonna be
same thing with this. So does it mean the end of Drake's prime? It seemed like it is. It seemed like it is.
For sure, but I
It's
think
going to be the new "This Is How You Do It" Montel Jordan. Everybody still loves that song. Everybody.
To Debo's point though, like
no, we don't.
No, we don't.
This could
Shut up,
accelerate
16.
Drake's fall off. But if Drake comes out with if Drake gets his mind right and just gets in the studio and comes out with a hot album, he'll be all right.
Man, he got
Literally in a year, if he comes out with a hot album, y'all niggas is gonna forget about that shit and they gonna be all over Drake. It's gonna be BBL Drizzy and shit all over.
But I think Drake is in damage control. To be honest, I don't think Drake is really gonna pop out with nothing because he trying not to be Diddy 3.0 right now. So he.
That nigga got tickle dunk, bro. I told you.
Shut up, tickle dunk.
Hey, hold on, time out. If Drake 3.0, who the hell is 2.0?
Don't ask her that.
No, I want to know.
I'm about to jump down this. Okay.
Because Diddy's obviously one. So who's 2.0? Because we skipped the number. I'm just trying to figure out something.
Right now, I think it's like Jeopardy sound right now. We can insert the Jeopardy noise because the circle's dwindling, my friend, and I think some other people are doing damage control and trying not to feel those shoes. I only say 3.0 because I feel like somebody else gonna get got. I would say Jay-Z.
Oh yeah,
Jay-Z's trying not. Jay-Z's gonna be 2.0. They're trying, but
that. What if it's Jay-Z and Beyonce? What happens when y'all favorite is a fucking devious, scandalous bitch? Y'all gonna fucking lose it.
They'll never throw her under the bus. They'll never throw her under the bus.
We don't need no Comey shit. Let's let that come out after the election. She just went up there with Kamala Harris. Let's let that come out after the election, okay?
Listen, I'm just saying
because
you asked hold on, Diva, 1 second. Easy. So we got the two biggest conspiracy theorists on the planet here. And you ask a question like this, these two live for this. Well, you know what I heard, you know what they say.
Be fucked up.
Hey, this 16. I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna ask the questions that the people need to know. Okay.
And the answers that you're gonna give from these conspiracy theorists are gonna get
us canceled. Who did they say she kidnapped?
There was a conspiracy theory out there that the song. I'm not even doing it.
Allegedly,
it was Jay-Z's. It was Jay-Z's supposed like side piece who had a baby, and then Beyonce had him killed.
Thank you, Easy. I'm cutting all this.
But then they also said that Beyonce has that singer Sia like in her basement or something.
See, Beyonce she too good to be clean like that. Something wrong with that girl. I done told y'all before.
I love her down, but I feel like there's something going on, and it's gonna.
This is you are.
I don't think any.
Jay,
welcome to the club.
Don't fall in with
No. Come right on over here. Come on over, Jay.
She did something terrible to me when I was younger, and I will never forgive her because she's scandalous. She's mean.
And this concludes Drake and Kendrick talk because this shit is over. We'll be back right after.
You are now listening to The Radio Show.
Know what I'm looking for. Yes, can't let go. Can't fucking let go. That was it. Can't let go.
You know what I can let go of?
This segment.
You're listening to The Radio Show ATL on YouTube and all other podcast providers.
Welcome back, guys. We are at one of your favorite segments of the show where we randomly express how we feel about whatever, however, randomly. Does it make sense? No. It is just something off the top of our mind that we just want to get off our chest, and this is our time to vent. So what we'll do is I definitely have a vent. I'm known for my vents, and Debo's known for his vents, and 16 just rants like an old man. So since we don't want to suffer through him for too long, we'll throw him in the middle. And Easy, you said that you had something earlier that you wanted to go on a rant about.
What was the topic we were talking about when I said that? Because I
we were talking about voting. I have one for voting, so you got one for voting.
Was it chili again? Were we talking about?
No, it wasn't chili. I was trying to think of the topic because I wanted to. Golly, it was on my mind. I should have just wrote it down. It'll probably come back. To me,
we can come back. Debo,
I got another random until the other random comes back.
Okay, go for it.
So I won't take too long, but I wanted to tell a little story real quick. And Jay, this is how random works, okay? So the other night, my New Orleans Pelicans, worst basketball team name in the country, okay? They were out there playing the Portland Trail Blazers, okay? One of the better team names in the country, in my opinion. And Brandon Ingram hit the game-winning shot over Anthony Simons to win the game. Now, why am I bringing up basketball in October? Because Brandon Ingram and Anthony Simons share a baby mama, okay? And Brandon Ingram hit the game-winning shot over Anthony Simons, he's the new baby daddy, okay? Brandon Ingram, the old baby daddy, Anthony, the new baby daddy, okay? And after the game was over, Trey Murphy, shout out Trigger Trey, he dapped my boy Brandon up and said, yeah, twin, tell her who better. Tell her who better. I just want to say,
messy.
I just want to let y'all know that if you ain't got my back like Trey Murphy had Brandon Ingram back, we ain't friends. Because my man knew he was being taped by the NBA press, and he dapped my boy up and said that out loud. And that is some kind of loyalty I have to respect. And that is my reason.
Wow. Drop the mic on. Damn. Easy, you ain't never had one this hard to follow up. I don't even know if mine is even as fun or juicy no more.
Let's not be disrespectful, Diva. I've had some bangers out here, but you know, that one was spicier than usual. You know?
My bad. Okay, yes, you have, but you know, you not for the god. This was really good.
No, this one touched my spirit because I'm like, that dude don't give a fuck, and I can.
That's hilarious.
That's loyalty.
Listen. Well. Debo, what do you have?
Well, let me open up the book of nigger because I'm so sick of you niggers, right? This is the segment where I get a little ratchet. I'm sorry. I tried to contain it. I can't. The first person, and I'm going to go over it right now, is Easy. Easy. You are in the book of nigger, just like your fucking brother. You want to know why you're in the book of nigger, Easy? Let me tell you why. Me and Easy... Listen, I normally agree with Easy about 95% of the time. Me and him are always on the same page. But this nigger keeps telling me that motherfucker on Instagram that be cooking them bear legs and them fucking snakes is a good cook. And I don't give a fuck what you say. Nobody that's cooking bear legs and snake skin is not a good cook. Now I get it. That fryer he got is nice. He be frying that fish up nice, and he fry that chicken up nice, and that's okay. But it's a net negative because this nigga is cooking bear. You're not gonna
I think the universe is on your side with this.
No. Easy is wrong. and he know he wrong for liking that nigga shit. He be sending me pictures and videos of this nigga cooking bear shit.
I'm guilty. I've seen it. I've double tapped it, even though I'm like, I'm still wouldn't eat that. But
Diva, you going in the book of nigger too, goddammit. Because it's crazy. This nigga is a menace.
Fascinating. Menace.
He is a fucking menace.
Look,
If we was in the wild, I would want to be his
Bear.
friend.
He cooked Yogi Bear and he still had the fucking fur on the toes, man. Cut that shit off. What are we doing? You did it on purpose, nigga. He in the nigger book. Easy in the book. And Diva, if you gonna throw your lot in with Easy, you going in the book. All of y'all niggas, the whole fucking TRS crew is in the fucking book of nigger. It's ridiculous.
If this was a few months ago, I would have argued Debo down about this. Because he cooked bear before. He did it before, and that's how he went viral the first time. Okay.
Bro, this ain't the Revenant. Bear ain't meant to be consumed when you have other choices.
Thank you.
Hold on. For the record, that's outlandish. That's so out of pocket. I'm not with that. Okay, like I'm from the country, but I don't even think eating bears legal. I don't even think that shit's legal. I think Wildlife and Fisheries is doing an investigation on them right now.
They need to.
They need to. He did it one time, and it was like, okay, you did it to go viral. You brought traffic to the page. You know, keep it.
And he do this all the time. He cooked the bear. Then he cooked some chicken and he cooked some fish, and then he'll grill some fish, and he's like, okay, he making regular food again. And then the nigga cooked the snake, and then he cooked a possum and shit.
But it's the details with this one. This is what got me thrown off. It's not like that man was on some Tarzan shit and he went out into the woods and killed the bear. My man unpacked the bear legs out of a box. So that means that somebody in this country is diabolical just like him and shipped him some bear legs.
You know what? I think I like this new streaming service we're using. It shuts Debo up when he about to just do the most.
It's not fair because listen, point blank period, Easy. As soon as I seen that second round of bear, I said, nope, this nigga is in the book, and he belongs in the book with his brother because they both fight a fight.
I can't argue with you, Debo. After the second one, you know, you gotta love people where you're at. Okay, the same uncle that cooked gumbo for me when I'm back home in Louisiana is the same uncle that be making some roadkill stew, and you know, you just gotta love them people where they at, bro.
I'm just
you
not.
gotta catch them on the day when ridiculous. They do something you like.
That nigga's in the book. You in the book.
With my boy.
I hate to tell you, Debo. It's legal to hunt black bear all over the U.S. and Canada.
It can be legal as fuck. You ain't supposed to do it. It can be legal as shit. You ain't supposed to do it. You can punch your own person in the face if you have to. Don't mean you supposed to do it.
Oh my god! Listen, hold on. Okay. I gotta say something real fast, Jay. Now, Jay, I told you. I don't know what's happening with that, Jay. I know I told you that this was a different environment than the interview that we did. It's a lot more polished. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing after hearing and seeing all this shit that you've seen and heard, that you got to have something on your mind right now that's just like out of this world that you would like to share. Because I'm interested to see where that's headed with all this crazy shit that's been said, that's still yet to be said.
As far as something random?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like my random is not that good.
Them usually be the ones that
you'd be surprised where our randoms go.
So the one thing that I can think of is, you know how when you go to like your doctor's office or whatever, and with the HIPAA laws, they're not supposed to be sharing your information. So why, when I went to my dermatologist, why do they ask you out loud, do you still live on this street? Loud, like it's completely silent in there. And there's people in the waiting room and they're like, you still live on this street? I'm like, can you keep it down? It's real quiet in here. And she's like, I still have to confirm. I said, I'll write it down. Everything's the same. Like, I don't like my information out like that loud. My phone number, my address and stuff like that. I'm like, so
Thanks.
It was like, does that happen everywhere? Because I feel like every time I go somewhere, it's like that. And I don't like
what you tell them? You tell them to shush, and you be like, flip your screen. Let me see. Flip your screen.
Yeah,
And
that's
you know
what you
what?
do.
I will tell you why, as a woman, that's very uncomfortable. Because from the creepy tribe of men, I've had several friends who had like a guy who found them interesting, listen to their phone number being confirmed like that, and then call them when they walked away from a desk or from the cash register. And so they're like, hello. And they're like, oh, yeah, I was standing behind you in the store.
Terrible.
And they're like, well, how the hell did you get my number? And they're like, oh, I overheard you telling the cashier. And the guy will like put the number in their phone and they will call you and try to ask you out on a date where you never gave consent to give them your phone number. So yeah, that's a real thing. People do listen and people do. So I agree with you. I'd be like, let me see your screen. Just flip it around. Let me see. I'll tell you if it's right or not.
It was
Let me
real
ask you
quiet in
this.
there, so everybody heard me tell her, you don't have to say it out loud. I don't want everybody knowing my business is quiet in here.
Was there like the plastic between like the desk and
Nope.
you? Oh, so yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, they was
because that has happened to me with the plastic. But when it's like open space, they usually are kind of quiet. But maybe she
Yeah.
just didn't give a fuck. I'm sorry.
Man,
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, I will write it down. Like, don't say my information out loud. Like, everybody can hear it. So,
or I could just slide you my
driver's
driver's license and you can shut the hell up.
Yeah. No, that was a good random. Jay undersold herself. That's
Yeah,
actually pretty
Right,
good.
that's a great random. That's a great one.
That's how you play the game.
That was a great random. And then we piggyback off of it because we can pretty much identify, We all like to fuss about something.
Of course.
Well. 16. What do you have? Like varsity,
You must
what
have.
do you have?
Well, I was gonna say you must have something interesting cooking over there, Diva, because you not having me go last. But so I again want to state that I am not the rant king. Okay, that is not my moniker with this shit. Even though I have my moments when I'm doing that, but I wanted to take the time with my random to do something. The radio show ATL is doing very well right now. We're probably at our most popular point right now. So I want to take this opportunity with this time of the audience that's getting bigger to make history and say some stuff that's never been said, not only on this show, but it's probably never been uttered in the history of life. And I want to be the first person to say it. So that way they can say, well, man, I had never heard that before. So I want to do that. So starting right now, I'm going to say something that's never been done before that no one's ever said. You ain't never heard nobody say, hey, man, throwing that Wiz Khalifa. Ain't nobody ever said that before, man. So I'm just saying, just put that out there. Ain't nobody ever said that. That's all I got.
Hey, fair enough. That nigga, I've never said that shit ever in my life.
Said at all.
I'm
thinking about
I've never said it, but if I do hear it, I'll be like, oh dang, I forgot about that song. It's hot. Okay, I'll get you up.
See, I delivered on my
You only
promise.
got 3?
I said I was gonna make history, and I said, ain't nobody in life ever said that before. So
never.
You got it right here first.
I mean, he got like 3 songs, so you can't really say it a lot. Black and Yellow. I don't even know the other 2.
Oh, you can't.
Black and Yellow,
roll up. I'll roll up.
Roll up.
Yeah.
Oh, what about Remember You? That song.
Yeah, Remember You with The Weeknd. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking about See You Again, but that was
right.
good.
Now, I will say, I saw him in concert, and he's a good performer, but,
Have you ever
would I pay to go see it again?
Dome?
No.
Or somebody told you that?
No, that was just off the dome, bro.
Oh, okay.
I am. Okay, so this is my random.
Nobody's ever said it. Think back in your mind. You'll never hear it. It's brand new.
It's a crazy one, but this is about voting, and so I feel some type of way. I feel some type of way that voting is technically a right. Yes. Should people vote? Absolutely exercise your right to vote. But I don't think you should be bullying people into voting with these commercials that be like, I mean, it's your right to vote, but after you vote, your family and friends can see if you voted or not. Like, what kind of low-key voting threat is that, people? Like, personally, I don't care, but I mean, let me tell you something. I wish some family member would call me and be like, I went online and I saw that you didn't vote. You can check my next answers for how I'm going to feel about that. But I'm just saying, this is how they're telling people. Like, I mean, I don't know if y'all seen those commercials or not, but when I was listening to it, I was at work and it was on YouTube as a commercial, and I've seen it on some other stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then a couple of us looked at each other and was like, did they just low key threaten people? Like, if you don't vote, like your families and friends can tell, and da 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 da. I'm just like, I mean, peer pressure, really? Okay.
It's like
That's
they
what
were
we're
like, they
doing.
said, it was like, you better vote. Your mother's a whore. Vote.
Right.
Do it.
Oh my god.
But this is America with
Yes.
K's.
Yeah, I just remember my other random now that you mentioned yours. So
Yes.
we need to pass a federal law, and it's got to be federal across all the damn states. If I already voted, that means I need to be exempt from the text, the emails, the garbage mail, all that shit. I've already done my job. Leave me the hell alone, please.
Not happening. It's a wishful
I'm tired
thought,
of
bro.
Tyrone being like, "What's up? This Tyrone, like, come out to the rally." I'm
Yo,
tired.
Yo,
I'm tired of my
Yo,
name being in
they
all
said yo,
caps,
fam.
talking about.
Oh my
Yo, wait a minute.
Yo,
Tell me
fam.
why last
Yo,
time,
fam, you voted?
how
You
last
vote, fam?
time they gonna oh, I totally forgot about this. I don't even know if I told y'all this, but the last time we were supposed to vote, right? There was still time to vote. Do you know they text my mom? It was like, Cassandra didn't vote. What the fuck are you talking? My mom texts me and she goes, I got a text message saying that you didn't vote yet. I'm like, the entire fuck you mean?
Well, that's my question. Why you ain't voted yet?
Huh?
See, why you ain't vote? Why you ain't vote? That's what I heard. You ain't vote.
Because I still got time. It's over on the 5th. Like, what you mean?
We were already talking about punctuality problems. You know, Diva do stuff on time, even though she is the way she speeds. She drives.
Diva gonna pull up to the pole.
The way she speed. No, the way she speed. She gonna make it there.
Diva gonna pull up to the poll at 6:55 p.m. on November 5th. Okay,
You ain't never seen somebody leave a parking lot and make Diva pull out of a parking lot. You don't understand. You better watch your ass, bro. She out, okay, and she know it. That's why she laughing, because she know. She knows.
I don't have 16. Shut up. They don't need to know about my impeccable race car skill set. I'm just saying.
Out. Okay, that's motherfucking Mario Andretti right there.
And easy. I always vote between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. because I be damned if I stand in line for anything.
Al Unser over here.
No, I feel you on that. I went vote early and there was a line. I said, this is not why I came here early.
That's right.
My precinct is so amazingly fast. That precinct is so quick, and it's actually on the same street I live on. So it's just like, literally probably could walk to it, not happening. But I'm just saying, it's actually on the opposite end of the street, but it's on the same street. So it's pretty close.
Listen, as long as you vote, because we all know one nigga on this chat that didn't vote.
Man, that once ain't missed an election since, goddamn. You know what? This concludes this segment of random. I want to say Jay did a great job. She said, "Oh, I didn't do it." She had a great random, and stop, putting people's information out there. Right back after this, y'all are a trip, man. Especially you, Debo. She could tell.
You are now listening to The Radio Show.
I mean, we're already sick of white people saying the N-word. I think they get like a golden parachute. It seems like they're just doing it on purpose to get out of their job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to work here anymore. It's the quickest way out. Niggers.
You're listening to the radio show ATL on YouTube and all other podcast providers.
All right, so we come to the end of another glorious Bring a Friend night. Thankful to all our homies that we have here that come and partner up with us here on the radio show ATL. So we got our homie Big Debo, My Black Friends podcast. Debo, man, it's been a minute since you and Danny dropped the episode. What's up, man? When can we expect some new content from MBF?
We dropped the episode a couple weeks ago. It was like 3 weeks ago. He might not have named it MBF episode, but it was an episode. But we do have our official Thanksgiving episode. We do one every year. It's coming out in like 2 weeks, like 4 hours. You know how we do. So, that's the thing.
All right.
And also, if I could say something real quick, if everybody that's listening can like give prayers to my friend Dorothy. She had a stroke this weekend. She's a big part of our show at NBF. She's been on several times. She's actually Danny's cousin, and she had a stroke in Vegas this weekend. So if anybody could just send your prayers to her, I would really appreciate it. She's a really close friend.
Get well. Get well. And we got to hook up again, Debo, and do another My Black Radio show again. So
after we play the Cowboys, because you know,
we're
gonna whoop that ass.
So.
We
right now.
Beat them. Yeah, we already
dragged them. So yeah.
We ain't 1 cent, but that's okay. That's a story for another day. But make sure and check out My Black Friend. The information for Debo will be in the podcast description. So make sure and show them some love. They're doing some great content over there. Put your earphones on. You heard Debo. It ain't safe for work or none of that. So earbuds. Make sure y'all got that. All right.
No, at all. It's not as many N bombs on that show, but it's still a lot of N bombs on that show. A couple F bombs too.
A lot of F bombs, but that's fine. It's adult conversation. All right, but it's great conversation. And speaking of great conversation, our new friend Jae Ebony, all right, Black Girl Infinite Allure Podcast, friend of the show, with us here. Jae, can you please let the people know where they can find you? Information, where to follow you, and all that stuff. We're gonna have it in the podcast description and on the screen as well. But please let them know where they can find and listen to you. You got a great podcast going that you do by yourself, solo, without all the riffraff. But tell us about it.
The podcast is on Spotify, Apple, and all other streaming platforms. And you can check me out on Instagram, Black Girl Infinite Allure Podcast. Also, same name on Facebook, and TikTok also is Black Girl Infinite Allure. And I think that's about it. So, yeah.
Yes. Please show us some love. Like I said, it's a great podcast. Become a friend of the show and everything. And, we just appreciate y'all coming through, hanging out with us. Did want to say, too, before we wrap this up, just to, announce a couple of, partnerships that we got going on. Easy and I, we haven't, I guess, formally, set the dates, in stone. But Easy and I are going to be doing a weekly hit on the 3rd and 10 podcast. So shout out to Nate and Brian out there. It's a Giants-centric football podcast, but they speak about all things sports-related. So we're going to be kicking it with them at least through the remainder of the football season, probably beyond that, but we're going to be doing a weekly hit with them on that network, Belly Up Sports. So shout out to Nate and Brian with that. Also, another partnership with a friend that's on here, that she's here right now. Jae and I are going to be doing a couple things where we're going to be going back and reviewing some classic albums to see if they age well, if they were worth a damn or not, some old Grammy winners and stuff like that. So we're going to be hooking up with that. And if they bad.
Make them listen to some J. Cole.
Jay, that's not.
Make them listen to some J. Cole.
Because of you.
No, Jay. No, Jay. We will say a prayer for you because oh Lord. Oh Lord Jesus. Okay. Baby Ice T, be nice to her. Don't take her up through there like you do with us when we do album reviews, okay?
Yeah. I'm gonna be tuned into that. I'm gonna be tuned into that because 16, swear to God, that 90s is just the golden era, blah, 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 blah. There's going to be some albums you talk about that you got to admit is trash now. It's not listenable anymore, okay? So
we're going to see. We're going to see, all right? It's going to
listen to that Uchi Wally, nigga. That's what you need to listen to and rate that
Jay can hold her own. Listen,
Jay,
she going to be able to reel me back in, all right? I'm just glad.
No, Jay, if you want to torture him the way we do, just strictly pick stuff after 2002 and then watch him lose his shit. That's all you gotta do. He's not even.
The only reason
a lot of J. Cole in there. Watch him get angry
because Jay is about to understand how hard it is to hold this man accountable.
Yeah.
History. So I'm looking forward to this. I am excited about this.
Me too.
I approve this one. Yeah.
So, but yes, it's a partnership that's coming up. And thank you for telling her about what y'all feel like is the worst of me. I hope she don't feel like.
I mean, she gonna find out eventually, nigga.
See, people think that I just bully him for no reason. No, you're going to understand exactly why I call him little stuff like Baby Ice T and all the things. You know,
all that shit. Where are you every week? Right here. Where you at? Exactly.
Hey, there's other people that draw me in, like Easy and Devo. Like what? I mean,
thank you, baby. See, this is why I love Diva. Diva, you off the list. You know what, baby? I take you out. You off the list. You off the list. Don't worry.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you.
Somebody gonna have my back one of these days. It might
no,
just
nigga.
be Jay.
They won't.
He might be
they will not.
I mean, you know, we're not gonna let you get jumped. Like nobody else can do what we do to you. Like that's the rule. But while you're here, you can catch all this.
Whatever. But yeah, it's a partnership, another offshoot with the Aftermath where we're gonna be doing those. So that should be a fun thing that's going on with those reviews. So happy to have Jae as gonna be a frequent collaborator because she's great and glad to have her here doing that. All right. So speaking of radio show ATL, if you want to be a guest on the radio show ATL, just send us an email to radioshowinbox@gmail.com, or you can send us a text 678-800-1677. We look forward to hearing from you. That'll do it for this episode of the radio show. We appreciate everybody keeping us a top 200 podcast. Actually, top 100. Let me fix that. Top 100.
Yeah, fix that shit, my nigga. What are you doing?
Top 100.
Nigga stay fucking up his own shit.
My bad. Top
His
100.
ponytail is too tight, Devo.
That's what it is. But a top 100 podcast in the music commentary category. So we cannot thank you enough for doing that. All right. So, Debo, we done with this shit, man. Why don't you steal my catchphrase and let's get the fuck up out of here, dog.
First off, fix that fucking baby ponytail you got over there. That Rottweiler tail you got on top of your head. You need to fix that shit.
My shit go off, dog.
Just fix that shit. Comb that shit out. Lay that shit. Put a curl in it. Do something with it, nigga. But that baby Rottweiler tail is not it.
You can't grow it. You can't speak on it.
I'll tell you, you look crazy as shit. So whatever. I know the audio audience can't see, but this nigga look crazy. If you know what a Rottweiler tail look like, that little nub, that's what that's on top of that nigga head, bro. In a ponytail, it's crazy.
For the FBI, cut your ass off again.
Right.
Please remember and never forget, you're not listening to a radio show or some radio show. You're listening to the radio show, ATL. Baby Rottweiler tails and all, nigga.
Thank y'all for listening and watching. And remember, every like and subscribe gets us another like and subscribe. So like and subscribe. All right. So we appreciate y'all listening and watching, and we will catch y'all next time. All right. So I got a question. Well, Jay, let me ask you a question. If you're eating chili, is it even really chili if you don't have beans in said chili?
No, I mean, unless it's like a chili dog, you can have like the regular like chili to go on a chili dog. But if you're eating like chili, it should have beans, like at least 3 or 4 different kinds of beans in it, right? I mean, that's the only way I've had it.
Yeah. So you wouldn't just sit down to a bowl of just chili with no beans in it, because that's just like meat sauce or something, right? That's just.
Yeah, I have that kind of chili is the only kind of chili I have on a dog.
So you eat it though. So you eat it.
I do. Yes.
Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Boy.
Is that the only chili he likes? Chili without?
Yeah, I don't fuck with chili with beans in it, and I've been told offline that that's just a terrible take, and it has to have beans in it, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, fuck them beans. I don't want them shits in my chili, and they getting on me about it's just meat sauce, and that I don't give a fuck.
But you know what, easy. But you know what? Just let them know, like, hey, there's literally an entire corporation that name is Chili's, and their chili doesn't have beans.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it was such a controversial take, why every chili brand on the aisle got an option of beans and no beans?
Facts.
I think because
there's a lot of people like you.
You can have it one way or the other, I guess.
There you go. So I'm just saying, fuck all that noise. And you made it my point, because if you out here eating a chili dog with the beans on it, like that, like what the fuck you doing? Like you made my point. Like that's the most times I'm really eating chili. Like every now and again, I might throw like a Frito pie together or whatever.
Yeah, but you didn't preface that. Like, let's not say like we was talking in the context of a hot dog.
I want no damn beans in my chili.
He sent a picture in our
Why are you
bullshit.
Easy, why are you arguing with Ice-T's cousin?
Diva.
Like,
and that's you about to make. I think you about to make the point I'm about to say. This is the most picky to my left here. It's on the screen. This is the most picky eater alive, and he has the audacity to fight me about beans and chili.
It's not picky. I told you I'm very clear on what I want. It's a difference between the two.
I'm clear out. Fuck them beans. Okay, fuck them beans.
Fuck them beans.
Okay.
Now, because beans and rice,
that bullshit ass picture that you sent was just a bowl of meat. That's what that was.
And it looked delicious.
You took a picture of it too?
Yeah, he was like, "This is chili." Like, no, the fuck it
no. So somebody. Now God is good all the time. You know what I'm saying? After they tried to take me down through there about why beans need to be in my chili, Instagram graced me with a nice recipe, and the girl that made the recipe said, "I don't like beans in my chili. Don't come for me in the comments." So I just had to, comment, tag them, let them know, that fuck them beans. That's how I feel. So
I made some chili the other week, and it did have beans, and it was so good.
The way it was supposed to be made with beans in it.
Hey,
and you want to talk about somebody
good.
being a picky eater? Diva, half the stuff we talk about, she don't even eat. We been doing one gotta go. She be like, I don't want none of shit.
Yeah,
but I like chili with. I also like chili with and without beans. So I mean, there's that.
You know what the hell?
I eat it both ways,
dude. So you don't like lasagna because the meat sauce ain't got beans in it?
No, it's just lasagna is some bullshit, and I don't want to eat it.
No, okay.
Oh, baby Ice-T mad tonight. Baby Ice-T is upset.
Oh,
baby Ice-T is diabolical.
You haven't begun to hear me upset. And Jay, I thought we was better than that.
I'm sorry. Okay. That was funny.